Greetings everyone, this is Gerard, Editor-in-Chief of Filipino Soul Magazine, aka S.G.I.B magazine. It stands for Soldiers Guide Intentions. Believe that, because everyone should be soldiering for something, a dream, a goal, an idea, a trend, or something. And on the PBG's production stand for Photos by Gerard, the best in freelance publicity photography, and CEO of the Borough Corporation, the not-for-profit entity of me, which stands for Be Ever Remembering Your Love. You know, what I have been doing, I've been doing for a lot of years now. I've been putting my magazine together, newsletter, magazine, whatever you call it. You know, oftentimes I have been able to work, you know, how they say, under the radar, for the simple fact that I don't sell my magazine. I give my magazine away. In the past, I have given my magazine to youth organizations and allowed them to sell it and keep the profits. On the cover of it, it says that it's a free publication and support is $4. That means if you want to support the magazine, of course we're talking about the United States, if you want to support the magazine, then sure, give me $4. If you don't want to support the magazine, it's okay. You can have it. It's free. So that is the gist of my publication. Now, I've always patterned myself as always doing the right thing. Ever since I got out of prison in 1999. And when I do my motivational speaking, I also drive home the issue that it's easy to do the right thing. It's hard to do something bad because it goes against your core belief of knowing that it's wrong. And when you do that, there's a whole, it's like the gears start running backwards because you know you're about ready to do something wrong. You know. And coming out of prison since 1999, I think I've been very successful in doing the right thing. And proof of the pudding is my here in the Philippines now. And not only that, my still are able to have a passport. A passport that allows me to travel the world. And that has been my rewards for doing the right thing. Now, of course, I come to the Philippines and, you know, like any other, I guess, healthy red, blue, green-blooded, you know, male, you know, you're looking for a companion. Now, what I'm going to say to you is something that I've never mentioned to anyone online. I never felt the need to, because only those who need to know needed to know and knew it. But I feel the need that I have to tell you now on social media, for the simple fact because I'm kind of upset of the fact that those of you who know me, even here in the Philippines, you know, aren't setting the record straight to those who tend to want to deviate from what it is, what I'm doing, and my mission or my own self goal of following my own personal dream. When I came to the Philippines, sure, I wanted to have a Filipino girl. You know, I mean, now mind you, I've been trying to come to the Philippines for about 4 years before I came here, or 3 years definitely, because I wanted to get to some place where there was no drugs. I wanted to get to some place that was safe haven for me. United States was just too crazy, and I no longer wanted to live in that environment that the United States cradles when it comes to drugs. So that's why I chose the Philippines. I always looked at the Philippines as my coming here, you know, to do whatever we have. I may have thought I needed, but more so to be able to allow me to continue my own personal growth. Because the two biggest sins in life is to, number one, stand in the way of the growth of another human being, and the second is to stand in the way of your own growth. So, and that's from the AA book, Alcoholic Anonymous, on the chapter, I think it's like 495. It's the chapter just before Freedom of Bondage. So if you read Freedom of Bondage, you know, in the 2 pages before that, in the lower paragraph, you see that those are written down as the 2 biggest sins, I guess. You know, I don't want you to think I've come to this decision on my own. So when I came to the Philippines, you know, I wanted to find a girl. You know, so my first experience with a girl, and it's kind of comical because you know, I consider myself a player. You know, I'm a player. I ain't a playboy. I'm a player. There ain't no girl I'm not gonna sit nowhere and have a girl come and sit next to me and see me get up and walk out with her. No, I don't work like that. You know, if anything, give me your phone number. If I'm ever in the mood, I'll give you a call. But you know, I'm not gonna be labeled as one of those tricks. That's what we call tricks. You know, who are gonna be picked up on the streets by some mango girl and be, you know, carted off somewhere and God knows what. That just wasn't me. I don't do that. You feeling me? I don't do that. But anyway, what happened was that, you know, I was sitting in this one place, and you know, I got a few numbers and all that stuff like that, and I looked across the way, and there was a girl sitting at a table, and she was sitting with 3 other people, and you could tell they weren't having a good time, you know, and she was smiling, and I thought to myself, well, she looks out of place, you know, she looks happy, you know, why is she with these miserable people, you know? And so, you know, I happened to turn my back, and I don't know what I was doing, but when I looked at the table, she was sitting at my table, and I said, wow, you know, she got there pretty fast. You know, I was kind of like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And so I said, you know what? I said, are you by yourself? She said, yeah. I said, can you leave? She said, yeah. I said, let's go. So I got up with her, and lo and behold, when I got up, and when she got up, it turned out that she was severely handicapped. I mean, handicapped with the walk and all. And it's like it totally blew my mind. And I said, God, what kind of sense of humor have you got? Here I am in the Philippines. I finally decided to have a Filipino girl, and she's handicapped. Oh no. Are you laughing any harder than that? You know, but then I said to myself, handicapped, the girls need love too. So, you know, I brought her back to the hotel, you know, had my fling, and yeah, you know, that was that. You know, I was done with that. Been there, done that. You know, so and where I'm staying at, you know, it's very important that what I do, my life is very private. So I'm not going to have hot and cold Filipino girls coming in and out of my room, nor do I want to be doing hot and cold Filipino girls, period. But I know for me to find a woman of substance, I like to find a woman who's working. I like to find a woman that has a job. Because that tells me that you are taking care of your own personal business, your own personal welfare. And so how can I let someone who has no business, who has no job, into my world and expect them to help me take care of my business when you can't take care of your own? So I was walking by this place, and I happened to see this girl. You know, she worked there. She worked as a lady guard. And I used to say hello to her, and you know, and I smiled. You know, I took a picture. You know, and you know, I'm very, you know, that's just me. You know, I smile. I say hello. You know, and so one day I asked her. I said, would you like to go? I said, look, would you like to go out with me? She said yes. But I said, are you married? She said no. I said, you got kids? She said no. I said, okay, fine. Okay, you fit the criteria, plus she had a job. I made a date with her. We went out. We had dinner. I had a wonderful time. It was nice. Now, this is my first month in the Philippines. and I'm getting close to the end of the month, so you know me, you know how I was in Las Vegas, I mean, the last 2 weeks of the month, like the last 2 weeks now, nothing's changed when it comes to, how poorly how I manage my money. So anyway, so it just so happens that, she helped me the last few days before the end of the month, as far as, my having. She would bring me food to eat, and I would put in the refrigerator at the hotel, and late at night, because I was only eating 2 times a day. Late at night, I would take it and I would eat it. So I didn't have any cigarettes. She made sure I had cigarettes, and I was very impressed by this. That although she was going through what she was going through with her family, that she found it in her heart to take care of me a little bit. And so so this was kicking off very nice, because not only I'm not in player move, but I'm not in sucker move, when I got paid, we talked, and I was liking her. And mind you, it wasn't jumping to bed. I said, look, I'm not trying to impose my United States or my American way of dating or pressure, or hey, let's jump in a sack type of thing. I'm respectful of the Filipino culture. I'm respectful of the Filipino people. So I told her, I said, look, I said, if you're working for 7,000 pesos a month, that comes out to maybe like $100-something, U.S. money. I said, look, I'll give you that. You can quit your job. I'll take care of you. That's not a problem. I said, in fact, I will give you a room in the place that I'm staying at, for the 2 weeks, so this way you can get to know you. So this way you can take care of you. Because up until then, her family was, coming by getting her money, and she was walking to work and sleeping here, sleeping there, and whatever. I said, no, because it's important for you to get to know you. So I said, I would make it possible for you to have a room in this hotel that I'm staying at for a week, and whatever you need, I would provide it for you. You have your own key, so this way you get to know you. And that was the game plan. So I made sure to keep my distance, not to be overbearing, and just take it slow. Yeah, if you're looking for love, you can't be in a hurry for it. You gotta let it come to you and let it take its time. And so, it happened. Her and I ultimately got together. And she moved in with me. She quit her job. And it was, peaches and cream, butterscotch candy. It was very nice, that whole, romantic, atmosphere of what we were going through, falling in love or whatever. It was wonderful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to fall in love. It's beautiful to have someone to love. It's even more beautiful when the person you love loves you back. As Teddy Pendergrass once said, it feels so good when the one you love would love somebody when somebody loves you back. And that's a fact. So it was very good. It was very good. But as time moved on, about 4 months into the relationship, her sister had said something in the beginning about blackmailing her. And so right then it always stayed in the back of my mind. So I knew there was a secret somewhere there. So I didn't know what it was, but me being who I am, I know I can get to what the information what I need to know, from just timing is everything. So ultimately it was through pillow talk or what have you, and she had admitted to me that she was married. Not only that she admitted to me that she was married, that she also had 2 children. Unfortunately, one of them passed away. God bless the dead. And once I found out that she had a daughter, my obsession was, look, I want to meet your daughter. I want to meet your daughter. I want to give to her. I want her to have. I want to do this for you. I want her to know that she's on your mind. That I don't have my daughter. So daughters are very, 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 very special to me. So I'm saying that, look, I want to meet your daughter. I want to do this, and then she explained to me that there's complications, with her ex or whatever that lead to some dire consequences without going into details if she was to ever go back. So I didn't push the issue anymore, but I always try to encourage her, to reach out to her daughter. Well, keeping with doing the right thing. In my coming here, I finished the magazine. I went to Las Vegas. I distributed the magazine. I went to New York and I came back. And my goal was, once I came, I spent 9 months in a hotel. And hotels are not made to stay in for that long. Hotels are just a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks tops. But I was there for 9 months, so it was time to go. So when I came back, I moved. I moved to a condominium, which is where I am at now. Now, once I got here to the condominium, I met some of the other foreigners. My neighbor next door, one upstairs. I play basketball with him on Sundays. We talked. And then when I mentioned to him that I was with a girl, we've been together for almost a year. He said, I said, yeah, but she's married. And they said, she's married? I said, yes. He said, are you crazy? I said, what are you talking about? Am I crazy? He says, you can't live with a married Filipino woman. They will put you in jail. Now, I'm going to stop right there. And I want to read something to you that if you Google it, because, I never take anything on face value. And with social media, or with the internet, you can find out whatever information you want to. Now, this is about adultery and concubinage are illegal. It says that you can face time in prison if you get caught messing around with a married woman. It said adultery is committed by any married woman who shall have sexual intercourse with a man not her husband, and by a man who has carnal knowledge of her, knowing her to be married. If the marriage be subsequently declared void, adultery shall be punished by prison. Do you understand what I'm telling you? It says in a minimum and maximum period. Now, I'm going to stop right there because I think this says it all. Now, once I found out that I was jeopardizing my freedom here in the Philippines by living with a married woman, oh no, this can't go on. I'm not about to fight for my freedom, in the Philippines, for living with a married Filipino woman. So I asked a dear friend of mine, a dear friend of ours, to come. Because once I had to let her know of the law, I could no longer let her stay here. No longer let her stay here. Because then it's my, being complicit with the act of living with the married Filipino woman. Mind you, I love her. I love her to death. I love her to death. Now, I had her come, this dear friend. The girl did not know that she was coming. Yes. Because I didn't, there was nothing that whole month, or until I was able, to get to payday, to do what I wanted to do, I kept my distance from her. She couldn't understand why. She couldn't understand why I was cold to her, why I was giving her the cold shoulder kind of thing. But the reason being because I was torn inside, because I knew that I could not stop this train that was coming down the track, because it meant so much that I didn't want to end up in a collision that would end up in jail. You know, so but at the same time, I had gotten involved professionally with the artists, and so for some reason or another, it was equated in her mind that the reason my cold shoulder was because of the artist, when it wasn't the artist. It was the fact that you're a married Filipino woman and I don't want to go to jail. You know, so when the time came, I gave her X amount of money. The girl who came with her, we packed all her stuff. I put her up in a hotel for about 3 days, and then, you know, I helped her find a place. We found the place for her, you know, and I'm still paying rent on that apartment to this day, because I could not see her going back living in the conditions that she was headed toward. Now I know she was employable, because her ex-employer kept calling her, and so it was important that she did something with her life. Mind you, I tried to get her involved in physical therapy, to try to go to school, to try to do something to help better herself. You cannot teach anyone ambition. You cannot make a person want more for themselves, or as much as you do. I don't know if I make it. Yeah, I'm making myself clear. You know, why is it that someone else wants more for you than you want for yourself? That doesn't make any sense. So anyway, so you know, I got her the gear that she needed to go back to work. She went back to work, and she's fine. You know, she you know, I'm taking care of her rent. You know, I'm buying her food, still buying her food. You know, and give her some pocket change. That's fine. You know, but I can't have you here. You know, we can't be together. We can't. Because you're married, you are a married woman in the Philippines, and as I just read to you, that means prison for me. You know, and if you love me, if you say you love me, why can't you understand that? Why can't you love me enough not to want to see me in prison for being with you? You know, but for some reason or another, you know, it's been twisted somewhere around another that the facts that I just laid out to you are no longer the facts. You can blame it. You can blame it on this one. You can blame it on that one. You can blame it on this one. You can blame it on why the sun shines. You can blame it why why there are waves in the ocean. You can blame it why there's fish in the sea. You know, you can blame it on whatever you want to blame it on. But the stone cold hard fact is that we cannot be together because you're a married woman, and that means my going to prison if I'm with you. You want to be upset because, you know, I buy a young man sneakers? You want to be upset because I over-tip a taxi? You want to be upset because I help people out? You want to be upset because I help families out? That has nothing to do with how I want to help people. Nothing to do. I try to have you part of my business, of my magazine, you know, but understanding that my artist management is something different, you know, I don't know what else to do. I'm lost. I'm lost. But I just wanted to stop and put this out here. You know, my Facebook is not for this. My YouTube is not for this. But the reason I'm doing it because you're hurting people who are innocent of everything. You're even putting the poison on young girl, just young innocent girl's mind. You know, who's too young to comprehend. But because of your desperation of wanting to have somebody on your side, you know, you have sucked her in, and it tears at my heart that this beautiful young girl is now caught up in something that she shouldn't have anything to be, have nothing to do with. It reminds me of my daughters. You know, that's why I'm not with them now, because of the shit that the mother put on their heads, you know. So anyway, like I said, my Facebook, my YouTube, my magazine, my artist management, this is not what it's for me to take the time out to explain what I've just explained to you. But I have been silent. You know, I have endured the wrath of the vermin that comes out of the texting and the tweeting and the Facebook postings and what have you. I just take it with a grain of salt, because I just refuse to just come down to that level. But you're hurting innocent people now. And that's not right. And those of you who know the truth, for those of you who know to what I tell you to know and still allow it to happen and not have their tenacity to come forward and say, hey, you know, that's not how it is. That's not right. It shouldn't be like that. You're wrong. You're wrong in what you're doing. You're wrong in what you're saying. You know, you're just as culpable. But in the name of God, please stop it. Please stop it. You're hurting people that it matters. You know, you can hurt me all you want, you know, because God knows I've done enough stuff that whatever anybody says about me, it really don't matter. But it's not anything new that people won't step up and say and step up and be in my corner. I'm used to that. But I'm stepping up for those people who you're hurting, because I'm in their corner. And please stop. Stop. This is GERARD, editor-in-chief of Filipino Soul Magazine, aka S.G.I.B magazine. Soldiers got intentions to believe that hip-hop, urban, raw, the truth, a photographer's magazine. And again, I'm sorry for taking this time out to post this video, but I've been silent long enough. And like I said, it's starting to hurt too many people. If you're having a dream, a goal, an idea, a train of thought, don't worry about it. Do what I do. Go to the Philippines. No. Get as much as you can, as fast as you can, and go home. And remember, I'll always love you more. And if you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ollie Woodson, former lead singer of The Temptation, once sung, treat her like a lady. I love you like a love song, baby. I'll talk to you later.